They called it a failure in France. Too sensitive, too inconsistent, too mediocre. So why is it that the very same grape, Malbec, became a national treasure in Argentina, praised by sommeliers and served in Michelin-starred restaurants? Did France get it wrong, or did Argentina rewrite the rules? In this video, we dive into one of the most dramatic glow-ups in wine history. From forgotten French vine to Argentina's global calling card, Malbec's rise mirrors the larger story of a country that defied odds, geographically, culturally, and viticulturally. But Argentine wine is far more than just Malbec. From the dizzying vineyards of Salta to the sleek, minimalist cellars of Patagonia, Argentina is crafting wines that are shaking up the old world status quo. So grab your glass and settle in. This isn't just a story about wine, it's about reinvention, rebellion, and a bold new taste of identity. The unexpected roots, from colonial sacraments to global fame. The story of Argentinian wine doesn't start with ancient empires or Roman vineyards like in Europe. In fact, before the 16th century, the native peoples of Argentina didn't grow wine grapes at all. Their alcoholic beverages were made from maize or local fruits. Everything changed in 1556 when Spanish missionaries carried vine cuttings across the Andes from Chile. They weren't importing French Chardonnay or Italian Nebbiolo. These were hardy grapes meant for sacramental wine, planted by Catholic priests to serve communion. The vines took root in Santiago del Estero and gradually crept into more promising valleys like Mendoza and San Juan. Still, for centuries, Argentine wine was a quiet local affair, until 1853. Enter Michel-Aimé Pouget, a French agronomist with a vision. Invited by President Domingo Sarmiento, Pouget brought along something that would change everything. Malbec, along with other French varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon and Merlot. Add a flood of European immigrants, mostly Italians and Spaniards, bringing with them generations of winemaking knowledge, and suddenly the pampas were ripe with promise. For most of the 20th century, wine in Argentina wasn't about finesse. It was about quantity. Locals drank it like water, with towering per capita consumption. Quality, that was a luxury. Then came the 1990s and everything changed. A new wave of visionary winemakers led by Nicolas Catena Zapata began to aim higher, literally. Vineyards crept up into the Andes, seeking altitude for acidity and freshness. International consultants like Michel Rolland arrived. Investment poured in. Argentina pivoted from table wine to table talk at Michelin-starred restaurants. Today, Argentina produces not just good wine, but great wine. Some bottles from Mendoza and Salta rival Bordeaux and Napa without the jaw-dropping price tag. Argentina's wine power lies not just in its grapes, but in its landscape. From desert plains to dizzying mountain peaks, the country offers every terroir a winemaker could dream of. Mendoza is the undisputed giant, producing around 70 to 75% of the country's wine. But within Mendoza lie microclimates with distinct personalities. Luján de Cuyo, known for rich, fruit-forward Malbec. Maipú, a historical region with old vines and soft reds. Uco Valley, high altitude, limestone soils, and cool nights deliver world-class Chardonnay, Cabernet Franc, and complex Malbec. To the north, San Juan sizzles. Hot and dry, it's great for Syrah and Bonarda, though its Pedernal Valley offers a cooler climate now drawing attention for premium wines. Then there is Salta, home to the world's highest vineyards, some as high as 3,000 meters. Here, Torrontés shines, producing intensely aromatic whites with floral and citrus notes. Heading south, Patagonia brings a breath of cool air, ideal for elegant Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Merlot. The long-growing season let grapes ripen slowly, developing refined wines with character. And don't overlook emerging players like Jujuy, where experimental vineyards are pushing the limits of altitude and elegance. And no surprise, Malbec is the superstar. Originally from Cahors, France, it found a better life in Argentina. While French Malbec can be austere and tannic, Argentine Malbec is plush, velvety, and generous, loaded with dark fruit, violet aromas, and spice. It expresses its terroir boldly. Mendoza's sun gives richness, while Uco's altitude gives structure and acidity. Argentina is far from being a one-grape wonder. While Malbec may steal the spotlight, the country's vineyards are home to a fascinating variety of other grapes that are equally worthy of attention. Take Torrontés Riojano, for instance. This native white grape is uniquely Argentine and known for its intensely floral aromas, reminiscent of jasmine and orange blossom. It's delightfully deceptive, often delivering a crisp, dry finish that surprises those expecting sweetness based on its perfume. Among the red varieties, Bonarda, also known as Douce Noir, has had a quiet renaissance. Once dismissed as a lesser grape, it's now being embraced for its juicy, vibrant profile and is increasingly appearing in quality blends and single varietal bottlings. Cabernet Sauvignon, especially when grown in the high-altitude vineyards of the Uco Valley, develops a powerful structure and complexity. Syrah, on the other hand, thrives in the warmer regions, such as San Juan, producing bold, spicy wines with deep color. Tempranillo, a legacy of Argentina's Spanish immigrants, performs well either as a blending grape or as a solo act with its earthy and fruity character. White wine lovers also have much to explore. Chardonnay, particularly when cultivated at high altitudes, can exhibit remarkable depth and minerality, often drawing comparisons to top-tier Burgundies. Cooler zones are giving rise to excellent examples of Sauvignon Blanc and Viognier, which are gaining popularity for their aromatic lift and crisp acidity. Then there's Pedro Jimenez, not to be confused with Spain's Palomino grape, which has traditionally been used in mass-market white wines. However, modern winemakers are starting to reinvent its potential, experimenting with terroir-driven styles that reflect Argentina's evolving wine philosophy. Wines and wineries that change the game. Some wines have completely redefined what Argentine wine is capable of. Among the most iconic is Catena Zapata's Adriana Vineyard Malbec. Grown at over 1,500 meters above sea level, it's often hailed as a benchmark for high-altitude winemaking, balancing rich, ripe fruit with elegance and minerality. Then there's Cheval des Andes, a luxurious collaboration between France's famed Chateau Cheval Blanc and Argentina's Terrazas de los Andes, creating a Bordeaux-style blend with unmistakable Andean flair. In Salta, Colome's Altura Maxima Malbec takes things to new heights, literally. Cultivated at nearly 3,000 meters, it's one of the world's highest vineyards and delivers an intense yet refined flavor profile that seems to defy gravity. Meanwhile, Zucardi's Finca Piedra Infinita highlights the raw minerality of Paraje Altamira's stony soils, offering a textured and terroir-driven expression of Malbec that's captivated critics worldwide. Achával Ferrer, too, has built a reputation on its trio of legendary single-vineyard Malbecs, Altamira, Mirador, and Bella Vista, each one a tribute to place, vine age, and winemaking precision. Pushing the envelope further are trailblazing wineries like El Enemigo, Bodega Noemia, Susana Balbo Wines, and Altos Las Hormigas. These producers are not only crafting remarkable wines, but also challenging old assumptions and rewriting the narrative of what Argentine wine can be. Winemaking styles and philosophies. Argentina's early wine styles were all about power, oaky, high alcohol, and full-bodied. But today, the trend is shifting toward elegance, balance, and sense of place. Altitude plays a huge role. Grapes grown at 1,000 meters plus develop acidity and freshness naturally. Winemakers are also experimenting with minimal intervention, native yeasts, and aging in cement eggs, large foudres, and amphorae. Organic and biodynamic practices are on the rise. Wineries like Chacana and Domaine Bousquet are leading the sustainability change. The new focus? Terroir. Parcella, or parcel. Wines, single vineyard bottlings, and soil-specific expressions are proving that Argentina is more than just Malbec. It's a land of infinite nuance. No AOC, no problem. Unlike the tightly controlled wine laws of France or Italy, Argentina takes a more flexible approach to wine classification. Yet quality still holds significant weight, and the system is steadily evolving to reflect that. One of the key identifiers is the IG, or Indicación Geográfica, which simply tells consumers where the grapes were grown, like IG Valle de Uco, for example. It's a nod to terroir without imposing strict rules. Then there's the DOC, or Denominación de Origen Controlada. Argentina currently has only two of these, Luján de Cuyo and San Rafael. Wines labeled under these designations must follow more rigorous standards, such as lower yields, specific aging requirements, and strict sourcing guidelines, all of which aim to ensure quality and consistency. When it comes to aging, terms like Reserva and Gran Reserva offer some insight. A Reserva Red must age for at least 1 year, while a Gran Reserva requires 2. For white wines, those minimums are 6 months and 1 year, respectively. Although estate bottled and single vineyard aren't legally defined in Argentina, they're commonly used to signal high-end wines where the producer controls every step, from grape to glass. Overseeing all of this is the Instituto Nacional de Vitivinicultura, Argentina's official regulatory body. The INV monitors everything from grape harvest declarations and labeling to export certifications, ensuring that as Argentina's wines spread across the globe, their reputation remains rooted in integrity and excellence. Export powerhouse. Did you know Argentina is the 5th largest wine producer in the world? It ranks just behind Italy, France, Spain, and the US. And it's not just about volume. Argentina is a top 10 exporter, known for offering serious bang for the buck. The US, UK, Brazil, and Canada are its biggest markets, drawn by Malbec's approachability and Argentina's adventurous spirit. Plus, wine tourism is booming. Mendoza alone sees thousands of visitors each year, sipping among snow-capped peaks and sun-drenched vines. Regions like Salta and Patagonia are following suit, offering wine lovers a scenic detour from the usual routes. Challenges in the road ahead. Of course, not everything is smooth pouring. Climate change is hitting hard. Droughts, hail, frost, and water scarcity are pushing vineyards higher and into new territories. There's also the issue of overproduction and economic instability, which can hurt quality and pricing. And in the global wine market, Argentine wines must fight for shelf space against old world heavyweights. But Argentina is adapting. Winemakers are exploring non-Malbec varieties like Criolla and Bonarda, diving into natural wine trends, and expanding into lesser-known regions. The future question mark. Think low intervention, terroir-driven, altitude hunting, winemakers crafting wines that are not only delicious, but deeply expressive of their land. Final sip. Why Argentina matters. Argentina isn't just another wine country. It's a revolution in a bottle. Its wines are born at the foot of the Andes, forged by immigrants, uplifted by science, and carried to the world by passion. Malbec may be its calling card, but behind that label is a whole world of wine worth discovering, from Torrontés in Salta to Pinot Noir in Patagonia. So the next time you pick up a bottle of Argentine wine, remember, you're not just sipping grapes, you're tasting mountain air, immigrant dreams, and the pulse of a nation that dared to redefine itself. One vineyard at a time.